Okay, here we go. We've got, I've given you 3 different line segments right here. What we're going to do today is we're going to see, um, I think a lot of people, I think myself included before I really learned this stuff, I just figured you could take any 3 lengths and make a triangle out of it. But let's just practice a little bit. We'll come back to this in a second, but I'll go really extreme here. What if you had a length like this, okay, a length like that, and then a length like that right there, okay? Could you make a triangle out of those 3 lengths right there? No, there's no way. No, we're not extending. We're saying these lengths, which means if I'm talking about these lengths, I'm not extending anything. I'm not shrinking anything. Listen to me. I have to use these lengths. You follow me? So I could put it here. Of course, I could rotate it a little bit, couldn't I? Maybe like this. It's still, no matter how much I rotate it and move it, is there any way I can get a triangle out of these lengths right here? There's no way, because there's no way I could get those to reach, is there? Okay? Shh. Let's not with the comments, okay? Let's just pay attention. All right, so there's no way that I could get these things right here to reach each other. Would you agree? So I cannot have a length, this, and this, whatever numbers they are. Would you agree? So what do you think must have to be true about these shorter lengths compared to the longer length?
They have to equal the long length.
Okay, let's say they equal the long length. Okay, let's do this. I'll tell you what. Let's make this a different color just so we see it. Watch. So you're saying if that adds up to this right there. Okay, so look, there's 2 different lengths. You see it? That's a short one, and that's a little bit longer one, and they add up to that. Could I get a triangle out of those 3?
I think so.
Could I make a triangle out of that?
No.
Wait.
No.
No, I don't think I could, because watch. If I took this and I just tilted it just a little bit. Thank you. Very good. Okay, so watch. If I took this like that, right, and then I took that about like that, they're not gonna reach each other because that's off just a little bit. But you kind of get the idea, because look, they were sitting flat on this line, weren't they? So think about it. They're sitting like this. As soon as I tilt one up like this or one up like that, what's going to happen? There's going to be a gap in there, and they're not going to touch each other. Would you agree? So those 2 lengths can't equal the third one. Say, Rachel, what do they have to be? Right. This one and this one have to be greater than this length right here. Would you agree? Not individually, but the sum. Let's listen, please. The sum of these 2 right here have to be greater than this. Do we have that situation here? Yeah, because look, I've got 5, I've got 10, I've got 14. Take the 2 smaller ones. That's bigger than 14, isn't it? So I could make a triangle out of these, couldn't I? Now, I'm not going to sit and do this. Well, I don't know if I will or not. Maybe it will. We'll see how long it takes me. Come on. Grab it, grab it. Where is it? Look, I'll put it right here. And watch, I'm going to take this. Now, unfortunately, if this program worked the way I wanted, I'd really like to be able to like take. I'd like to be able to, I don't know if that's doing it or not for me. Let's see, maybe. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm gonna have to mess around with this a little bit, and put it about right there. Now I'm going to have to play around with this and get it at a certain angle. It's got to be a certain angle, right? That's definitely not going to work. So what am I going to do here? Just kind of raise it up a little bit like that. I'm going to have to push it over about like that. That's pretty close. We'll just say that's good enough for us. Is that all right? Okay, it's not perfect, but you get the idea. So look, these 2 right here have to be bigger than this third side. If they weren't, if these 2 did not add up to this, guess what? There'd be a gap. No matter how much I tilted it, if I just tilted it up just a little bit, there would be a gap between the 2. So there's no way that I could get a triangle. So if the 2 smaller ones were less than the third side, there's no way I could get a triangle out of that. Does that make any sense? So here's what they're going to do. They're going to give you three lengths, and they're just going to ask you. They're not going to give you a picture or anything. They're just going to give you three lengths, and you're going to have to look at this and decide, can I make a triangle out of those three lengths? So what's our little reasoning? What's our plan of attack to see if this is a triangle or not? We take the two smaller sides, and you add them up, and it has to be what? It's got to be greater than the third side. Now you could do that with all three, but think about it. If I took the largest one and added the smaller one to it, isn't that always going to be bigger than the third side? Yeah. If I take the largest side, add it to either the middle one or the small one, that's always going to be bigger than the other side because this is the largest side. The way really to tell if you're going to get a triangle or not is take the two smaller ones, add them up, and it has to be bigger than that third side. So 15 obviously is bigger than 14, so yes, we can make a triangle out of this.
Can you take 14 and subtract from the other ones and see if it's less than?
You could do that, but wouldn't it be a lot easier just taking the two smaller ones? Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, you're right, you could do that, but I think it would just be easy. Take the two smaller ones, add them up, and if it's bigger than this side, we're done. But you're right, you could do it that way. Does it make any sense? All right, let's think about this. Let's go back to this thing again. What did we say? We said this was
15,
what?
15, 14.
We said this was 14, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now watch. I'm going to take this. You know, it would be nice if I could take this and rotate it. See that? I was going to point to it. See right there? I'm going to point with this. It would be nice if I could lock that in right there and then just take this and just tilt it down. But it's not going to do it, is it? All right, because it goes like that. So, but watch. Let me make that as flat as I can. I don't think I'm going to be able to. But watch, if I take this, I'll tell you what. Let's just get rid of that and get rid of this. Let's do what we were doing earlier. Watch. Oops, let's make it a line. What if I took this and I went to there? How many places does that count over for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? That's 0. That's 0. That's 1. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's 6. And so what is it going to be from here to here then? It's going to be 8, right? Okay, all you got to do is subtract.
Wait, why was it 8?
Okay, you didn't have to count. Huh? Look, I just tilted up a little bit. No, it's 14.
How would it be 8? Okay, I'm still thinking 7.
6 and 8 is 14. Okay, Matt. All right, so watch. What I want to do is I want to see if I had sides. Let's forget these numbers right here. If I had this side right here is 6 and this side here is 8, okay? What is the shortest the third side could be, and what's the longest the third side could be? That's the other part of these problems. All right, remember it's 6 and 8. Okay, so the smaller one is 6 and the longer one is 8. So let's think about this. Watch. What if I did this? What if I just tilted this up just a little bit? Okay, and I took this and I tilted that up just a little bit and just kind of put the end of it down like this. Okay. Now there's gonna be a gap there, right?
Maybe if you tilt it down somewhere?
Well, theoretically it will not touch. It may look like it because there is thickness here, but because look, this laid flat here and it laid flat here, right? As soon as I tilt this up a little bit, guess what? It starts going up. See, it looks like it lands right on that line, but technically it's really not, right? Because if I go up, it gets closer and closer this way. Okay, so there's going to be a gap right there. It's just with the limitations of what we have to use right here, it's kind of hard to see that. So if this is 6 and this is 8, what's the longest this line could possibly be? I shouldn't say the longest. What's the limit that it could be? It can't be any more than what? Let's say it that way. So this side cannot be any more than what? What is it? Well, not just 13. Now, it can't be 14, can it? All right, so if this truly is 6 and this truly is 8, can this really be 14? No, because that would make a straight line. Not if they were sides of a triangle, right? Because watch this. If I took this triangle and I took this side right here and I actually made it touch right there. Guess what? It's hard to see right here, but guess what's going to happen? That's going to be a little bit of an overlap. You guys listening? This is going to be a little bit of an overlap right here. So it can't be any more, well, it can't be 14 or more, could it? All right, there's no way. Because look, if I laid them end to end, the longest it could be is 14. But that would make a straight line. I couldn't get a triangle out of it, having that third side be 14, could I? All right, so what do? I tilt that in, tilt that in. What's happening? This side starts to get smaller and smaller. So if I actually wanted to, watch, if I actually wanted to connect from here to here, guess what? That's going to be actually smaller than 14, isn't it? Does that make sense? So watch this. What if let's get rid of this. What if I did this? What if I tilted this up a whole bunch, and I could even keep this the same, I don't care. Now what's going to happen? Let me go black here. Okay, so watch. If I go from here to here, guess what? What's happening to that line is as this angle gets closer and closer together like this, what's happening to this line? It's getting shorter and shorter, isn't it? Okay, do you follow me? So watch, let's tilt it right. You got it. So watch. If I tilt this way up like this, let's go really extreme here and take this over, and we'll tilt that as well like this. Now I didn't change the lengths of these sides, did I? Okay, I'm not changing. All I'm doing is changing the angle between the two sides. Now, if I connect to make that third side, guess what's happening? It's getting what? It's getting smaller and smaller, isn't it? Let's change the color. Oops. Okay, see what it's doing? It's getting smaller and smaller, right? Until what? Until they meet, right? Watch this. If I was to tilt this, let me try. Like that. Look at the distance. I can't even draw that. It's so small. The distance between here and here is going to be really, really, really tiny, right? So until what? Until it's completely right on top of that line, like Leah said, the line meets. Okay, it gets right on there. I can't exactly do it, but it's close enough. And watch. Boom. Gets right on there. So what's the distance from here? Whoopsie daisy. What's the distance from here to here then?
6.
From there to there?
14.
The whole thing is 8. This one is 6. So this from here to here. Come on, think first. The whole thing is 8, right? This is 6. So what's this? It's 2, right? But can you have a length of 2 though?
No.
It's got to be greater than
Then
2.
but less than.
That's right. It's got to be greater than 2, and it's got to be less than what? 14. Now, this is how we write it. Let me show you how we write it. We say x. We'll call it x or anything, d for distance, l for length, whatever you want to call it. X has to be between, somewhere in between 2 and 14. Agreed? So how do we show that? We go like this, and we go like this. Okay? See? X is greater than 2. Reading it from right to left, right? Or 2 is less than x, and x is less than 14. So this means that x could lie anywhere between 2 and 14. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's just, let's see. Remember, we said, what do I want to do here? I'll tell you what. Let's stop this. We'll go to the next video, and then I'll decide what I want to say here.